Hey now, everybody. It is Friday the 24th of May. It's going to be Memorial Day weekend. Please remember our fallen on Memorial Day. So, Trump had a rally in the Bronx yesterday. And of course, negative media. Every single time. Now, there were thousands of people there that I know of. I've seen video of the people that were there, and it was a diverse crowd. It was black people, it was Hispanics, it was white people, So, but it wasn't a lot. But something is up when Democratic politicians show up with the protesters. We don't want a dictator, like that's ever going to happen. I wonder where that narrative came from. Because it's impossible to have a dictator in the United States. Constitutionally. We have a Congress that would stop that. Okay? Even the hardest leftist or hardest to the right or conservative would let that happen. I don't even think the American people would let that happen. But let's run with the narrative. Okay? Because it sells newspaper. It gets people talking, and it puts shit in their mind that is never going to happen. But what it tells me about representatives of the Bronx, because they're all Democrats, the city I forget, it's Jumaane Williams. I forget what title he holds. All I know is that if something happens to the mayor, he's next in line. So he was there saying that Trump doesn't do anything for black people, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there's stuff we can find. Anyway, to debunk anything they say. But there's something that tells me that with everything Democrats are doing to kill this city, they're doing everything they can to kill New York City. With the taxes and the congestion pricing and all the regulations and they're light on crime and changing felonies to misdemeanors, on and on and on and on. So how they're destroying this city, I think for them, which is kind of high up politician-wise. You had city council people from the Bronx, all the representatives. Not all of them, but some. I think that they may fear that they're going to lose New York in the election, the general election for president, to Republicans. Because that would be the only reason I would see these people here. Not because they don't like Trump, First of all, he's the front runner. He's probably going to win. And these people are scared shitless. Because the way things are being run in this city, it's a shit show. I live here. It's a shit show. I won't be living here much longer, but it's a shit show. So, for high-ranking politicians, let's put it that way, to show up, Democrat wants to show up at a Trump rally where there wasn't thousands of people, it was a few hundred people, maybe. If there was 1,000 people, I may be overestimating. But it's a park, and they're not going to let, a lot of people in the park anyway. So, for them to show up, and it's just an opinion, they're afraid. They're afraid now that the Republican vote may show up in November in New York, which has been Democrat since Reagan. I think 1988 was the last time somebody voted since New York went Republican, which would have been Bush. So The first Bush, by the way, not the second. So I think they're in fear of that happening. And if that happens, if New York in the general election goes to Republicans, every Democrat in the city and city-run government is going to shit a brick the next fucking election. Because now the tide is turning. At least in nationally anyway. It's just an opinion. There's nothing to base this on fact at all. It's just an opinion. But it tells me that they're not very comfortable. And it tells me that they're a little shook up about the tide turning to Republicans in New York City. I would be shocked if a Republican won mayor of New York City again. It hasn't happened since Giuliani. And what the hell happened to Giuliani is fucking... He went off the fucking deep end. This guy went from America's mayor to fucking... Now he's indicted in Arizona. I mean, you want to talk about a fall from grace. Holy shit. But he's small potatoes. He's 80 years old. He gets convicted of a crime. What's going to happen? Really? He's 80. Back the fuck up, already? Anyway, that's just an opinion from what I see. It just, because normally higher ranking Democratic politicians wouldn't be bothered with this. You know, maybe the borough president or people from the city council. But the second in command, in case the mayor drops dead, that has you wondering. That has you wondering. And they're going to hide behind, well, the black community doesn't want Trump. You know what? The black community looks like they're turning more towards Trump than you think or than you realize. There was a black guy there selling t-shirts. No more Joe in the Ho. Okay? That's kind of funny, though. So, like I said, everything's still got to play out. I don't foresee Trump winning New York State. Other than, he could win the state, the city he'll lose. Because they're stupid. You know, you don't realize you're getting taxed to death. Businesses are closing left and right. People are leaving. Doesn't matter. Let's vote them back in. I don't know. Adams thinks he's going to win another term. He's under FBI investigation now for, what do you call it? Campaign finance bullshit. People around him are getting arrested and they're closing in on him, I think. But unlike Trump or a Republican, it's a very slow process. It's just an opinion. Back up. But from what I saw yesterday, they're afraid. They're afraid. We'll see what happens. Like I said, this next week is probably going to be the verdict on the Trump trial. I don't expect a guilty verdict. I'd be shocked if there was a guilty verdict on a felony. Maybe a misdemeanor. But a felony? No. There's too much. Anyway, you all have a good day. And remember, this is all opinion. And everybody's got opinions. And you know what opinions are like. So you all have a good day. Booyah!